it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. And today is Inspire Create Challenge Day, which we all love. So this time it is a colour challenge, and I have to say that Hannah has really come up with an interesting colour palette this time. So we've got Calypso Coral, Lovely Lipstick, Crushed Curry, Pear Pizzazz and Sahara Sand. Not a favourite colour. Not a favourite colour. Okay. Like it because of sunflowers. Okay. So, however, put them together and I'm actually really pleased with the result. And I have to tell you, please, please, please go and look at the other design team members' projects because they are amazing. I put the blog post together for the group this time round. Hannah and I take it in turns. So I got to see all of their projects, and I have to say I saw them before I came up with mine. And yeah, it was quite frightening. So I hope you will agree that I've come up with a nice project. I'm quite pleased with how it has turned out. It is using an older set, as in it was in last year's catalogue. It was new last year, so it's the Oh So Eclectic stamp set with the Eclectic Layers framelets. Oh, and that's all slipped. So yeah, I thought that would be quite fun to use, and I've used the Perennial Birthday, which was also from last year's catalogue, and I've just used the Today Blooms Just For You. So there is quite a lot of die cutting here, so I'm not going to do all the die cutting on camera. I have already done a lot of it. What I am going to start with, is the background, because the Calypso Coral I managed to squeeze in as a background behind my die cutting. So this is shimmer white cardstock. This is my Calypso Coral ink pad, and ooh, wrong size brush. That was me thinking I was all prepared, and I've got the wrong size brush. So, bigger brush. So this is one of our aqua markers. Love these! So easy to use. You just fill them with water. So you just fill the barrel with water, and they're good to go. So, shimmer white cardstock. Add some water to the ink palette, having got some ink in your lid, and I just squeeze. I'll show you with one of the other ink pads in a minute. I just squeeze the pad so that you get ink in your lid, and then just very carefully, well, not very carefully, very slapdashily, spread your diluted Calypso Coral onto Whisper White cardstock. Now, I really only need to do the kind of top 2/3 because the die cutting doesn't go all the way down. And that is my background. Is that going to be far enough down? Probably. I'll just do a bit more just in case. And then grab a piece of kitchen towel just to clean your brush off, because it's always better to clean them off sooner rather than later, because they're nylon fibres, bristles, whatever thing. They won't stain, so that's always good to know, but the sooner you get it off the better. And then I am just going to, because I put a lot of water in there, I am just going to scoop that up so that I don't end up with water dropping into my ink pad. So to get the colour in, you literally just squeeze, and it's more the question of getting the bottom to hit the top, and there you get your ink. So really easy way of doing it. I am going to very quickly blast that with a heat tool, and then I'm going to pop it under something to finally flatten it out, but just to help it on its way, because this is the one I'm going to use. So sorry about the noise, but just want to get the worst off. And there we go. Pop my heat gun away. And that is, it's still a little damp, but actually there's a nice sunny spot on my floor, so I'll pop it down there, and then it will hopefully be dry by the time I need to use it. So as far as the stamping is concerned for both the leaves and the flowers, I've done some stamping off because I wanted a paler pear pizzazz, and I wanted two-tone on the lovely lipstick. So let me show you what I have done. As I say, I've already done the die cutting and stamping for this, but I don't want you to miss what I did. So stamp with your full strength with the outline of the flower, and then just clean that off. Come in with the splodge, splodge being a technical term. There are 3 splodges, so that goes with this, which is the one I'm using. This one has this sort of donut, and then this leaf can go with this, although I'm using them separately. And then you've got, if you're using this flower, you've got centres that you can stamp and die cut separately, because there is a die for the centre. So that's always fun to use. So ink up your colour, your solid colour, and this is actually one of the kind of early distinctive stamps, but you then get a nice two-tone. So just clean that off, and then I did exactly the same with the 2 leaves. So I got a slightly paler pear pizzazz, and then lots of die cutting, because I am going to use 3 sets of leaves and 4 flowers. Don't need that anymore, so let's get rid of it. So I've done exactly the same with the pear pizzazz, with the crushed curry as I've done with the lovely lipstick. So I've got 2 of each of the flowers, and then 3 leaves, 2 of the cross-hatching and 1 of the solid. And then for the background, I've already die cut this. I'm just going to then die cut its partner in crime, and it's not going to be completely in the middle, but it's not going to be too bad, and you just leave a bit of a gap because the die cuts right on the edge, so you can line the edge up to where you want it in relation to what you've already die cut. So I've already got this, and I want the same sort of distance as I've got here. So just line it up and die cut it. So let's pop that through the big shot. Just make sure it's square. And run it through. And then it pops out really easily, to the extent that I've already got it falling out. So, actually if I bring this back in, let's take, most of it's come out automatically, and then you can just rub over it to get the last little bits out. They're not really there, they're just sort of there because that's where they were. So that's that. And there we have our nice die cut piece, and as you see, I've got this one, which was the one I had to line up, is pretty close to the same width. So that is our background. Right, now let's just do the last bit of stamping, which I need a scrap of Whisper White for. And this is just an offcut for when I'm doing my mats. And I've got the Today Blooms Just For You from the Perennial Birthday. And that I'm going to stamp in lovely lipstick. And it doesn't actually matter which way up I do it because, well, it sort of does because I do need it to be at the end, so I'll stop saying that. Because I want it to one end of my piece. And there you are. And what's lovely about that stamp is because it is a kind of wave, you don't have to get it completely straight. So it's perfect, particularly for on camera, because on camera, guess what? It's not as easy. So the only other thing I need to do to prep, and I'm just doing all of this so that the Calypso coral piece has got longer to dry. So the only other thing I need to do is to tie using this lovely little grosgrain ribbon, which is in the annual catalogue. I'm just going to do a little bow, and this is the lovely lipstick. All of the new in colours have got this grosgrain ribbon as the ribbon for the in colours, because every year we have a new ribbon that is just for the in colours. and this is the one for this here, and I've got a nasty kink. There we are. Nasty, nasty kink. So just tie that, and it ties, so it's a really nice flat bow. And then just trim our corners. Yeah, trim that one a bit as well. There we go. Pop that away. And don't you just love that it matches? This is a really difficult colour to match because it's that kind of slightly blue pink. So the fact that it all absolutely matches ping on is just perfect. Right, let's grab our now slightly curly piece of shimmer white cardstock. Just straighten that out a bit. It is now, yeah, pretty close to dry enough. So this I've cut slightly smaller than my mat. These are my normal size mats, so this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 and 5.5 by 3 3/4 as ever. All the measurements are in the blog post, which is linked in the description bar below, and I've got them in metric as well as imperial. So that's going to go over there. So all I need to do is grab my lovely multi-purpose adhesive. I love this stuff, and I'm just going to run that and pop a little bit of extra kind of in the big blobby bits in the middle, just to help hold everything down, because why wouldn't you? And then down the side. You can tell I'm concentrating because I've gone quiet. Ooh, and another one there. I think I've got them all now. And then just add a little bit more. I'm using more than I would normally use purely because the shimmer white is a little bit curly still. Just make sure it's the right way up, as in with the ink at the top, and then pop it down, and then this is just a half sheet of the Sahara sand, and I'm just going to fold that in half and burnish that, and then add, and again I'm going to add more adhesive than I would normally add, purely because it is a little kinky. Apologies, we've got builders at one of the houses nearby, so if you can hear building work, that'll be why. Right. Pop that down, and I'm just going to pop that big block over the top whilst I do the stamping for the inside, because inside the card I've got some more of the little flowers. So as I'm going to come off the edge and bring back in my scrap, and again this is just my normal sized inner mat, so it's the larger of the two sizes. Sahara sand. Ooh. And now I think did I do that full strength? No, I think I did it second. I think I did it second and third, so we'll do second and third. So 1. I don't know what they're doing, but I wish they'd not do it when I'm trying to film. 2. So that's that, and then this, hopefully I'll get 3 generations out. Yes, I will. 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's what I did before. See, never put your project together and then walk away from it before you film. So unless you've written it down very carefully what you've done, nightmare. Right, okay, so that is reasonably flat now. So yeah, no, that's good. That's good to go. So all we've got to do now is put the whole thing together. So let's leave that for the moment, and I'll build the other bit. I will be taking off some of the stalks because we don't actually need them, and they're just going to get in the way. So just a little bit of adhesive on the back. Come on. It doesn't matter if you don't cover all of the back. So that's our first one down. Then one of our crushed curries. Just on top of that. No, down a bit. Yeah, down a bit. And I will be coming and trimming more bits off. Then crosshatch leaf. There, I think. Then a lovely lipstick. Then another leaf. You can tell when I'm concentrating because I stopped talking. So another leaf. Another crushed curry. And another lovely lipstick. And then I'll come in and do some surgery. Because we don't want those sticking out the bottom. Right, okay, so dimensionals. This is a great time to use your edge pieces. So let me grab my snips and just do a few of those, and just make sure I've got the right end. Yep. So yeah, no, I don't know what they're drilling, but I wish they wouldn't be doing it now. I don't know whether you can hear it on the camera, but for me it's very loud, and I wish they'd stop. Right, so this one I'm going to pop on my card so that I know I've got the support where I need it, because it's easier to do it that way rather than to try and guess where I'm going to have to cut this off. Of course, I should have cut this before I stuck everything down, but never mind. It's fine. And then come in with my snips and this is where I say I should have cut this before I stuck this on the background, but never mind, it's fine, it's worked. So that's that. Then we just need a glue dot for our ribbon. I've nearly finished this reel of glue dots. And then pop that just there, and we're done. Oh no, I've got to stick the liner in. That would be clever, really, wouldn't it? You don't have to do the liner. I quite like having either vanilla or Whisper White to write on. Sahara Sand is not a bad colour to write on, but I just like writing on the smoother cardstock. If I was doing a thick Whisper White or thick Very Vanilla card base, I wouldn't bother with a liner, but otherwise I would. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found that inspirational. Please do have a go and come up with your version of this amazing colour combination that Hannah's come up with. If you don't use Stampin' Up products, that's fine. Just use the nearest that you have to these colours. And again, if you don't have these exact colours and you do use Stampin' Up products, obviously you can order them from me, and there's a link to my online store below and over on my blog. But if you don't have these colours and you've got something similar, then have a go with those and see what you can come up with, and then add your picture to the link on the blog post for the Inspire Create Challenge. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye!